Hello, everybody. When I have something I want to get out there, something I want to say, a lot of times I really struggle because it means so much to me and I get so excited about it that it's like, how do I communicate that excitement so that other people get it? And I know one of the things that I do is I talk super, super fast, like I just was. And it's like, but I don't say clear words because I am so like running over myself excited that I don't like pause and create the space over there for the person to receive what it is that I'm talking about. So that's what comes up to say in the moment. I am Sandra Lee, energy healer and coach. And I have my dear, dear, dear friend, Nikki Golly, here with me today. And she's a nutritionist. She loves talking about poop. That's what she gets excited about talking about. And we're going to talk today about like making a difference in the world. And how do we communicate with people about that? So thank you for being here, Nikki.
Ooh, yes. I know the first thing that I wanted to ask you is how did you come into the work that you do now? Because this is kind of like this is getting your message. I'm similar. I'm like, I get so excited that I just stumble over my words and blah, blah, blah. And half the time I always tell people, especially when I talk about nutrition and digestion and all of that, is when you come from a place of excitement and you know what you're talking about. Sometimes the words can come across funny, but most people can see your heart through the words, even if you stumble over yourself. I actually did a workshop the other day and I beat myself up. I was like, oh my God, it was awful. And, it was the universe. Actually, I was doing a call and I followed up on a call with someone and she was like, you're a fantastic presenter. And I was like, really? I thought I did awful. But I get excited and I fumble over my words and things like that. But you have a way of that you've learned through, I don't know how you got into specifically the human design thing that I wanted to ask you about. Like, how did you get into that? Where did that come from? Because it has been so powerful since talking to you about it. You know what? I feel more confident in what I have to say because of what you told me through my chart, which was crazy. And also have a story about my husband, which I will share in just a minute.
So, how did I get into this? I mean, human design gives you a chart based on where the planets were at the time you were born, and it tells you a lot about your gifts and your purpose and the contribution you make to the world. And before I learned about human design, I believed that the positions of the planets didn't matter to me.
My husband is exactly the same. He's like, that doesn't mean anything.
Astrology had made 0 sense. I had like bunches of readings, but I didn't remember anything about them, and it didn't seem to have any relevance to my life. Mm-hmm. And then I learned about human design from my teacher being interviewed on a teleseminar. She wasn't talking to me. And I learned things about myself and my life that are practical and relevant every day, all the way till now, like 12 years later. And so I said, like maybe this does have some relevance. And I learned it. And when I do readings for people, it is like so spot on, exact. And now's the time for you to tell the story about your husband. Because
yeah. Yes, exactly. That was my husband. Was like, he was just talking about it the other day. And he's actually mentioned it to a few people, which is so funny because I was like, you need to sit with Sandra Lee. You need to do a human design chart. And he was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it for you. Like, yes, I'll do it. And he was like, he sat down and he was like, I came in with a healthy dose of skepticism. He's definitely on that same idea of like, it doesn't do anything. It's just an excuse to not do things in life. That's what he understands of all of the human design. He's like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, it's just an excuse for you not to do what you're supposed to do. That is his understanding of of the celestial bodies and all that. And you took him through an hour, like going through everything. You went through his human design, and he was like, uh-huh. I was like listening because we have a 2-year-old, so I had to manage the kid so he could be present. And I heard like, uh-huh, and then and then I'm not sure. And then after that hour conversation, he was like, do you think we could have a kid based on if we look at a chart and go back 9 months? And I was like, really? So he went from like completely not agreeing to, I wonder if we can manifest a specific kid by doing which I thought was a huge shift in just learning that. And he's brought it up to a couple people like, have you ever heard of human design? Do you know what that is? Like, I learned. He's like, talk to me. I'm a projector. I'm a blah, blah, blah. I'm a projector. I'm like, oh yeah. He was like, yeah, I work better with other people. I'm not good at it by myself. It's like, I've known that, like, he's known little things about himself, but that it was in his human design chart was such an aha for him. Like, this is actually written somewhere. Like, somebody else knew these details about me. Like, someone, like, you never knew him. You met him. I talked about him like once or twice, but never anything. So that was all just from the chart that you read to him. And he was like, so I need to work in a partnership. I need to do this and I need to do that. And oh my God, she sucks my energy when I'm here. Like, I need to get out. I need to do something else. It was like, it's come up a lot since then. It has definitely come up a lot in conversation.
So how does this relate to the topic of what we are talking about right now? Because we are talking about my upcoming masterclass, What to Say, Getting to Aha for speakers and writers and coaches and healers and really anybody. So in my opinion, one of the things that really makes a difference when you want to know, what am I going to say in a speech or a talk, or what am I going to put in my newsletter, or what am I going to put in a social post, or somebody asks, who are you and what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to clearly say whatever. Human design helps you understand your purpose.
Yes.
The contributions you make, and it gives you language that you can use in all those places where you use language.
Yeah.
And it helps you understand who you are. So it's like Nikki is talking about the understanding it gave her for understanding herself, and the understanding it gave her husband for understanding himself. And with that understanding of self, I am so much more able to offer to the world who I am and what I am here for. And by the way, you might want to talk to me about whatever it is that I can offer you.
Right. It has completely changed how I show up. It was like, I was thinking about possibly like, I focus a lot on digestion, but I was focusing because I've had a lot of clients that have had business success. And that was one of the things that you had told me in my chart that was a complete aha. You're like, that's an alignment because you're really good at getting things, like getting the material things in life. So helping my clients to do that was just a natural thing. So like, it made me so much more confident in the area of expertise that I have, because I'm like, I know that I'm good at this. Yes, I've had a client that has been like, oh my God, I signed 3 clients. I'm like, I know, isn't it great?
So what Nikki is referring to is, with understanding of her chart, it enables her to look at what she's already doing. Oh, that's my purpose. and to be more consciously aware of the areas where she's making the contribution and the language to put on it so that she is more, I am making a difference. This is the service. This is the contribution I make to the world.
Definitely. Yeah, that's so powerful. And I know this is just a tiny piece of what you do. And your masterclass is obviously we're going to I'm sure tap a little bit into human design, but you do so much more. Like what else do you have in store for this masterclass?
So, one of the things that I talk about is when I am not in alignment with what I am doing, when what I am doing doesn't really work for me, it affects my energy. And that affects my ability to function and to operate and to think and all those things. So, a really common thing that people experience is doing things that don't really feel right to me because I feel like I have to. Mm-hmm. And how could that be affecting you and what you write? You and what you speak? You and how you present yourself to the world? Are you doing things that other people say you should? But it's like, that's not really me. When I'm doing that, I know that I am cutting myself off at the pass and making myself miserable at the same time.
Yes. And then the people that you really that would resonate with you if you spoke true to yourself, right? If you spoke true to yourself, the message is heard by the people you want to. The message is heard by that community, that your perfect client hears it if you're actually speaking from the heart.
Yes. So speaking from who you are. And that's what we're going to play with. So masterclass on Saturday, I will put the information with the video. And I've got one on Saturday as well as one on Wednesday next week so that people in the morning in Pacific time or in the afternoon are able to come.
Perfect. I will be there. I will be there. I'm excited. Anytime I've ever gone to a masterclass, you've just delivered so much value and so much that I felt like a better person after. So if you haven't signed up yet, definitely do it. I highly recommend. She's fantastic at what she does in all kinds of different areas. And even the healing part and all, it's just, you're great at what you do. So I'm excited.
All right. So thank you everybody for watching our video. And hey, if you have poop issues or you want to be better as a speaker, I highly recommend Miss Nikki Golly here. And we'll link to her as well. So thank you everybody for watching. See you in the masterclass.
Bye.